No.
Red clay caked on my Sunday shoes. Church let out, but the work stays put. Mama's hands cracked like the winter mud, counting jars, but the shells look thin. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up, fall down, then we get up twice, scratching out a living in this hard Appalachian life. Cold must be in my granddad's cough. His stories hang in the kitchen smoke. Lightning took the oak, we burned it slow, warm for a night, then the cold came back. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up, red clay caked on my Sunday shoes. Church let out, but the work stays put. Mama's hands cracked like the winter mud, counting jars, but the shells look thin. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up, fall down, then we get up twice, scratching out a living in this hard Appalachian life. Cold must be in my granddad's cough. His stories hang in the kitchen smoke. Lightning took the oak, we burned it slow, warm for a night, then the cold came back. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up, fall down, then we get up twice, scratching out a living in this hard Appalachian life. They pass down names and patchwork quills.
All right, boys and girls. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me turn that background down. It's called Hard Holler Living by yours truly. Anyway, let me get this microphone squared away. How's everybody doing? Go ahead and start sending me chats. Let me know you're tuning in. Good to have you. Good to have you. Let's see. Where the mountains talk and we listen. It's the Rabun County Rag. Good evening, friends and neighbors, and welcome back to the Rabun County Rag, where the mountains talk and we listen. Winter has settled in Rabun County. Not rushed. Well, it looks like it might be a little dramatic by the end of the weekend. It's going to be steady. The kind of winter that shortens the days, sharpens the air, and reminds you to slow down and pay attention. Before we get into it any further, let's ground ourselves in who we are and why this show exists. We are a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, culture, families, and environment. We come here to exchange ideas, resources, and information. Now, winter isn't a pause button here in the mountains. No, sir. We got to keep we keep going right through. It's preparation season. Indoor winter work that pays off later, as long as we got power, of course. Our lights. Y'all got your, well, we'll talk about the storm here in a minute or two, but this is a time to tune and repair tools instead of replacing them, to go through the hunting and fishing gear. I got several rods I need to put new line on, so get ready. Organize freezers, pantries, and seed catalogs. I need to go back there, and I've got seeds left from last year. I'm sure they're still good. Let me know what your when it comes to seeds. Let me know how it works out when you store seeds and use seeds from one season to the next. You know, I hear all kinds of crazy stories. Nah, man, they got it fixed so them seeds ain't good but 1 year. And then other people I hear say that they've been using the same tomato seeds for 3 or 4 years. And I'm like, hey, well, I need to figure that one out. So let me know how you do it. Let me know what your results are when you use seeds from previous years of where you purchased them in previous years. I've had some pretty good success, I can't say, but it's always that fear factor, you know. It's if you put them in and they don't sprout after a week, heck, you're already a week behind, man. Got to start over and get new seeds. And anyway, let me know. I guess I need to do some research on that myself. Service tractors, mowers, chainsaws, and generators. I was a day late and $1 short. You know, I was going to get I've been pricing them generators for years, and you know, for a day or two without power, I think I can manage it fairly well, but my wife doesn't seem like she wants to manage it. I'll see after this upcoming storm, see how it turns out. Seems like there's a lot of fear mongering. You ought to be able to survive 2 or 3 days in your house without any special accommodations anyway. You know, of course, if you lose power and this cold front coming through, there's some special things and we'll talk about it. But anyway, plan gardens instead of guessing when spring shows up. We were at the Walmart the other day, and the wife made mention they had the seeds in stock already. And she says, "You want to take a look?" I said, "Well, I hadn't even planned it yet." And she says, "Well, I guess that's my signal that I need to start looking at it and helping you plan it." And I said, "Well, that'd be helpful." Y'all excuse me. Shoot, man, I've been rocking and rolling past few days. Been all over Northeast Georgia, it seems like. Anyway, let's see. How big a garden you got? I got 3 different gardens out there. Well, hell, I got more than that. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 up there around the meadow. 2 of them are flower. No, well, actually, 2 of them I plant zinnia. 1 of them I plant wildflowers for the bees. And 1 of them I plant in the old collard greens. I just like to see collard greens when I'm coming down the driveway there. I like to look over and see them old collard greens. Down at the bottom of the hill, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 of them are vegetable greens, that kind of garden, pumpkins, things like that. I've been trying to grow some pumpkins and melons and things like that. My success rate has been bad. If you got good luck with your pumpkins and melons and squashes, let me know how you do it. What kind of, I'm up here in this old red rocky soil, and I sure would like to have some success. I don't want a lot. I just want to have 1 or 2 or 5 or 10. I don't want to sell it in the market unless it's, I get an abundant supply by some freak accident. But anyway, let me know how you do it. Let me know how you how successful you are. And if you are successful, just share it with me. Anyway, get them gardens planned. It is 6 minutes after the hour. So spring rewards folks who prepared in the winter. Lord. Got an old boy down there my wife knows is going to set me up with some fescue hay. I need to get that put in and get it covered and let it get through a heat. Anyway, well, it looks like the deer season is over. Let me know how your success rate was. Share pictures and tell me how you did, what kind of harvest you had. And then tell me what you're doing right now to increase your success rate over the next year. You putting out mineral, you still develop feed plots and things like that. Let me know. I'm really interested in what you do. Throughout the season, between the seasons, to get yourself ready. Really interested. I want to know what your management, how you manage your property where you hunt at. Trapping update. Winter trapping continues strong. Predator trapping remains active. Fur bear seasons are in full swing. Cold weather makes sets easier to read and mistakes easier to spot. A good trapper is never in a hurry. They let the land tell them what to do. And what's on the table? What's on the table? A few Appalachian winter staples is vented cube steak and gravy and cast iron. Slow stewed, slow simmered venison chili. With this cold weather we might be out, might be nice to keep a pot going. Wouldn't my wife call that the day? Stone soup. If you know what stone soup is, send me a chat and tell me what stone soup is. And of course, you can't forget that backstrap. You know what? They just ain't enough backstrap on a deer, is there? All right. Let's see. If you need sauce to hide venison, you rush the shot on the cook. Fishing report. Winter fishing is about precision, not power. Trout are the headline. Cold water. Cold water trout fishing is excellent right now for those willing to slow it down, fish deep, and downsize presentations. Key to the winter success: smaller flies and lures and a longer drift. Go for the warmest part of the day, focused on slower, deeper water. Winter fishing teaches patience, and patience always pays dividends elsewhere. Safety segment. Now we got this. Look, y'all want to go ahead and talk about that? Let me see if I can get that. It ain't gonna do it. I was going to go ahead and get this thing turned up. Boy, I want you to look at that. Let's see if I. Yeah. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Yeah, that's that storm, that pink. That pink is ice. And I think that looks like Saturday's forecast, and that big ball of pink is rolling our way. There is some predictions that we may have as much as an inch of ice. Now, you know, boys and girls, that's going to be devastating. I've been around the Wally World and Home Depot trying to gather up my last minute supplies to get prepared. And if you ain't done it now, you're going to be in an emergency, I believe, because, Blossman Gas couldn't even get out and deliver me any gas because I've got that sensor. And I was like, I got this sensor. And let me take that off. I said I've got this call. I've got this electronic device that's supposed to notify y'all. And I looked at my tank this morning. It was 38%. And they said, well, it'll get down to 10%. And I said, yeah, I know, but I'm going to be without probably power, electricity, and everything else. And with the roads down, it's probably going to be better than a week from this coming Monday for y'all get out there to the house and get things caught up. And they didn't seem to have any sympathy for me. So, hell, I don't know. Might have to pack up and head south. And I was supposed to go to Amarillo today. And they called it and moved it back to Wednesday. That means I would have to leave Monday to get there Wednesday. I'd have to leave early Monday morning to get there on Wednesday morning. And if I can't get out my driveway, I guess I'm going to have to call them and let them know. I'm not, man, have you seen that gun map? That thing is covered, that pink blob is covering every inch of highway I got to travel to get to Amarillo. So I don't know. But things are looking a little wishy-washy there. Anyway, let me know how you're getting ready, what you're doing. Are you ready for this snowstorm? Got to keep them babies warm. Got to keep mom and dad warm. I did talk to Blossom Gas, and they said that if it's an elderly couple, and I kind of looked at her like, what is elderly anymore? Up there in age. And I was looking at her. Anywho, so we're headed for a big one, boys and girls. I hope y'all are ready. I've got an update here. I went ahead and put it, And this is called Storm Fern. You know what? That's another thing. Before we get talking about this storm, you know why they name these storms, don't you? These insurance companies, boy, they see the writing on the wall and know there's going to be damages and everything else. And if it is a named storm, then they at least double your deductible. Ain't that a shame? Like we're supposed to be able to predict and prevent any kind of damage coming from a act of nature. They used to say it was an act of nature, ain't nothing you can do about it. That's what insurance is for, taking care of those acts of nature. Well, they done snuck around and made it a policy that if it's a named storm, they're going to double, triple, or quadruple your deductible. Now, if I'm wrong, I want somebody to send me a message and tell me, set me straight, okay? Anyway, if you want good weather reporting, by the way, young fella on YouTube, his channel is Ryan Hall, y'all. And he's pretty sharp. I don't know that he has a TV gig, but he is a weather freak. He likes this stuff. He does live streams during tornado seasons. He's got crews out there all over the place. He gets people to, like you and me, who will get into his stream and give him updates live on his channel. Being an aviator, I do recognize a good weather report when I see one. And this young man does a tremendous job. He's got 3.03 million subscribers. Hell, that's more than some of the network TV channels have got. So, anyway, look him up. It's called Ryan Hall, y'all. Good kid. He's working hard. He deserves all the success he gets, because I remember when he's first starting out, he just had a couple computer models, and he'd do this stuff like I do here and put it up there. Now he's got a ton of people working for him, and he's got technological advancements. His green screen, by the way, that's what I'm on tonight, is a green screen. But his green screen's messing up on him tonight, and he's probably overloading his CPU. That's my phone. Let me see who that was on my phone. There it goes again. Clayton Rain, blocked spam. All right, see the temperature coming down. I don't think it's supposed to get any kind of frozen precipitation or frozen any kind of thing tonight. I think that's Saturday's when it's going to really come in. Anyway, me and my wife went to Hiawassee yesterday, and we left Hiawassee and took that 75, or is it 175, that little county road north out of Hiawassee, and went up there to 64 and took 64 back to Franklin, North Carolina. Took the high road, and there was some ice and snow up there in them higher elevations. That was quite a sight to see. It'd been a long time since I'd been across there, and I don't think my wife ever had. So she snapped a few pictures of some snow on some of the higher elevations. It was a real nice ride. Anyway, tell me what you know. Tell me where you're at. Tell me what you're expecting. Anyway, that's storm overview. It's called Winter Storm Fern in National Forecast, and it's developing over most of the United States this weekend, with weather hazards stretching from southern plains and southeast all the way into the northeast. And that's a big old boy. Let me see what we got over here. See what Ryan's got. There we go. Let me see if I can. Let me get this turned on for you. I'm going to transition over to you. There you go. I can change the size of that, I think. Yeah, but then I'm out of the picture. Let me see what I. Yeah, if you can see that, he's giving us the details. Anyway, that's a big storm. Look at that devil. Fit screen. That's a mighty big storm, boys and girls. I don't know if I can get myself back into that. There we go. Let me see. I'm just there we go. Yeah. There, put that in perspective. Look at the size of this, all the way from Texas, across the middle of Texas, all the way across. That is one huge storm. Trying to get it so see it a little better. Yeah. Texas. I'm supposed to be out there in Texas, right where that little light pink is, and that's 40 running across there. There's Memphis. Look at this. That is a monster. I hope, please, boys and girls, be prepared. Here we are in Northeast Georgia, and they're calling for a lot of ice. And ice is dangerous. It takes, I think, a quarter inch before it starts bringing down power lines and trees. And we're looking at getting at least a half inch in our area here. Look, there it is. Well, anyway, that's it. Developing from the southern plains all the way into the northeast. That thing's just drifting clean across there. Yeah, look at that. See, I don't know if my cursor's over there or not, but right here. Look at this. Texas, right all the way across 40. Oklahoma City, Memphis, across here. That's the way I would have to travel. And every bit of that is covered in ice. Anyway, that does include North. Now, this is Saturday. Okay, that purple is ice as well. But yeah, this color, that darker color of purple is enhanced to moderate. Okay, moderate impact, and that pink is severe impact, major impact. So look, there it is right here in the corner of Georgia. There it is. It's going to get us, it looks like. Please be prepared. I'm going to cut that off. I think I'll just leave it on there and we'll talk about it as it comes along. That's that young fella, Ryan Hall. Y'all give him a shout out. I'm not going to put his voice in there. I think it confused me too much and you too. Anyway. Freezing rain. Golly. All right. Let's see. The system is expected to bring a mix of freezing rain, sleet, snow, and dangerously cold air to much of the eastern half of the country, including North Georgia and Rabun County. Uh, Ice and freezing rain are currently the biggest forecast threats for North Georgia, particularly late Saturday through Sunday. There's the potential for significant ice accumulation, enough to strain trees and power lines and cause outages. Uh, Governor Kemp has already called for a state of emergency. Yeah, when we were going across 64 the other day out of the western part of North Carolina, they were already out there putting that chemical on the roads. You could see where they were doing it. Anyway, here's the deal. It's going to, we're going to have power outages, and they could last for a week or longer. And the cold front that is behind that is going to be in the teens. So if you're without power and you don't have any backup energy, backup fuel source, or backup heat or anything like that, please, I encourage you to find family or friends or anyone you can go visit with. Now, I don't have a generator, but I do have auxiliary heat, and I got Coleman lanterns and stoves, and we're going to isolate a portion of the house and probably fill the bathtub for flushing water, and we've got water stored for drinking. And and we're up here on the hill. We ain't going nowhere. I'll guarantee you that. We'll park one of the cars at the top of the hill. If we had to, we could walk out and walk up and get in it and go. But anyway, please be prepared. Think about long term. Think about a week. Think about a week minimum with no ability to get out. If you're on one of these mountainsides, think about a week of not getting out. Think about a week with no power. Think about a week. If you're low on gas, it may be too late. Start thinking ahead. I don't want to see anybody get hurt in this mess. And hopefully, we'll keep prayers open. This stuff turns into rain and it shifts 100 miles north or something. I don't know, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. So, the storm's exact track and participation types could still shift with small temperature changes, but preparation now is advisable. Right here in Rabun County, according to the National Weather Service, zone forecast for Rabun County is mostly cloudy with a chance of rain tonight. Temperatures in the 30s to near 50s. Friday, clouds with a chance of rain. Highs in the upper 40s. Lows dropping into the upper 20s. That's on Friday. Saturday into Sunday. And this is the storm window. Saturday, mix of rain, freezing rain, and sleet. A wintry mix during the afternoon. Highs in the mid-30s to the low 40s. Saturday night, freezing rain, likely with cold temperatures near the mid-20s. Sunday, continuing freezing rain and rain through much of the day with periods of heavy precipitation likely. Monday and beyond, clearing and much colder. Sunday with the highs near 30 and lows dropping into the teens or lower. Some of the storm hazards to look for is freezing rain and ice. The biggest risk for Rabun County will be ice buildup. Not just light dustings, but enough to make roads slick and hazardous and to bring tree limbs down on power lines. Now, that ice will freeze on them power lines, too. You get a half inch on a couple 300, 400-foot run of power line, that's a considerable amount of weight. That's enough to snap a power line. It don't necessarily need a tree laying across it. So I'm just thinking that, man, y'all just be prepared. Southern states will have limited snow, ice equipment, and even small amounts of ice can make steep, shaded, or rural roads dangerous. Power outages, significant ice on trees and wires can lead to outages. Be prepared for this possibility, especially if you or neighbors rely on electric heating. The aftermath, often the storm moves out. After the storm moves out, very cold air return, high temperatures in the 30s and down to the teens, which can keep ice stubbornly on surfaces for longer. Make sure you stock in plenty of essentials. Now you can live pretty long time without food, but you got to have the water. Make sure you got your meds. If today is Thursday, call your pharmacy tomorrow. Make sure you have meds, batteries, phone chargers. I've got all kinds of batteries here that I need to get charged tomorrow. I got extra power supply. I've done check. My wife's got candles. I've got a gallon of lighting and cooking fuel. And the only time I'll see that we'll need that fuel is a couple hours at night for the light and to cook a meal. And I've also got a stove that uses propane. Now, I do have a shortage of those little propane bottles. I looked for one of those adapters today at the Wally World in the Home Depot where you could fill it, because I got one on the grill. I was going to have it standing by to refill these couple of small ones, but the luck ran out on that. So it might be beanie weenies, and we'll live. It just might not be comfortable. We've got that great room. We bought some things today, and I've got rolls of heavy industrial plastic we may build and tin off that upper portion and some of the throughways, and just try to guard ourselves and reduce the heat consumption by reducing the size and the space that we heat. Like I said, we're going to fill a couple bathtubs with water for flushing. We've got plenty of drinking water. This is just some of the stuff we're doing. Maybe it'll make you think about what you need. So we'll stay fed, and we'll stay relatively warm. Maybe sleeping in the living area there. That's where that heater is. But I suspect we'll make it through it. Anywho, so make sure you've got all that stuff. Now, just be prepared. Avoid travel during the peak storm period if possible. Boys and girls, if you live on one of these mountainsides, please don't try and travel until we know that some of the ice. Protect outdoor pipes and vulnerable plumbing from freezing. We're just going to cut the water off and drain it down. Just going to cut it off and just drain it. Blankets, got plenty of blankets, heat sources. Have a vehicle weather kit. I went today and fueled both vehicles. We'll park one up top and we'll park one down below. And if anything else, I'll pump some gasoline out of that darn pickup truck and fill them lanterns. You're not supposed to, but you can. Necessity is the mother of invention. The bottom line, a winter storm watch advisory scenario is in place for our region this weekend. Not just light winter weather, but a system with ice, freezing rain, and the potential for mixed precipitation that could disrupt travel, power, and everyday routines. With temperatures hovering around freezing during the storm window, ice is the leading concern for roads and power infrastructure. Now, we'll keep an eye on the local weather. If my power goes out, I won't be able to communicate, but I'll stay in touch with those that I know and love the most via cell phone service as long as the towers hold up. And we're going to have to, figure out a way to entertain ourselves. No TV. Rabun County winter stays unpredictable. Cold nights, brief warm-ups, but that's just our typical pattern after this monster storm. Wow, we could get as much as 4 to 6 inches of snow with that ice. Well, that's Tuesday, January 27th. What's this today, the 22nd? Those are temperatures. Yeah, y'all be prepared. Anyway, just make sure you got your flashlights and your batteries and emergency heat plans, extra food and meds on hands. Anyway, I'm going to shut that off. If you're not prepared, I'm not going to be a weatherman here. I just wanted to make sure everybody that listens here had a good idea what it looked like. If you want to know more information, go to YouTube and check out Ryan Hall, y'all. Best weatherman I know. Anyway, you know, winter used to be the thinking season in these hills. Turn this thing off. I got the other weather forecast going on in my head, and I don't want to hear it no more. Winter used to be the thinking center in these hills, the thinking season in these hills. Before modern conveniences, the tools were repaired, meat was smoked, stories were told, lessons were passed down. Winter wasn't wasted time, it was skill building time. That's still true today, even if the tools have changed. Let's see here. We got local events around the corner right now. Community groups continue winter meetings. Our volunteers give a big shout out, showing up quietly. Schools and civic leaders planning for the year ahead. Rabun County doesn't shout about its strength. It just keeps passing on. Just keeps right on right going on. You know it's winter in Rabun County when the dog refuses to go outside but still wants you to. You know, my granddaddy said winter builds character. Then he sat by the stove and supervised. You know what? I'm sorry about that. I've been sneezing all day. Lord. Breakout and shout outs. 4 or 5 minutes here. First responders, thanks, guys. You guys got your work cut out for you. You know, please be careful with your emergency heat. There are horror stories about people burning down their houses in these cold snaps. And man, you know that would be a terrible thing, especially if you're isolated and you can't get emergency services to you. Like I said, I got fuel in both vehicles. If all else fails, I'm getting in the truck and cranking that thing up and getting warm. And I think it runs about, if I'm driving, that thing will run about, 15 hours, 20 hours, and that's me going down the highway. It might not be exactly right. It might be 8 or 10. But anyway, with an idle, it should, all else fails, I can get out there and warm up and charge the batteries. That's the secondary plan is, I'll have all the batteries charged up. And if I run low on batteries, then I'll start the truck and let it run for ever how long it takes to recharge batteries. I got them lithium-ion drone batteries. I'll have them devils charged up. They're battery banks. I got a couple battery banks over here. So I'll have light. Might be cold light, but I'm going to have some light. And them old Coleman lanterns. Now my wife's got candles and we got some kerosene lamps, but them old Coleman lanterns now they'll buck up some heat. Anyway, let me know what you're doing to get ready for this storm. Man, and think about the Georgia power. You know, there's going it ain't like we going to get Alabama power over here to help us fix our power, or North Carolina ain't going to be able to count on Georgia power to go up there. Duke Energy, they ain't going to be able to count on Southern Company and Southern Company systems. They're going to be dealing with their own stuff. Ain't no shared resources after this storm. So it's going to be a while if we lose power. I suspect we could be as long as a couple weeks out of power. I have heard that this could be as serious as a direct hit from a hurricane for the damage that this ice and stuff could do. Anyway, I'm just, don't shoot the messenger, please. I'm just an old poor boy trying to figure out what's going on and share what I know. What's today? 22nd, yeah. Kids ain't going to be going to school for a week at least. Another reach out for the hunters and anglers that are feeding families quietly. Anyone starting this year trying to do better than the last year. Boy, that's one thing I've been talking about. On one of the other channels, I got another channel. It's called Nothing New Under the Sun. And all those, and they're all 5 to 7 minute videos, and that's the kind of thing I talk about, is how it's up to you to make a difference in your life. If you go around blaming governments and other people, you missed the message. The good Lord created this planet and gave it to us and said we have dominion over it. That doesn't mean abuse it. That means to handle it with care. Let me hear from you guys. Tell me what your winter project is while you're sitting huddled up in the house over the winter, and what you want ready when the spring shows up. I got a tune-up old beat-up lawnmower. I've had that thing about 8 years now. It probably needs a new blade on it. I know it needs a tune-up. So that's some of the, and sharpen my tools and oil the handles and plant the garden, start the seeds. I got a lot going on. But drop it in the comments what you're doing, how you're getting ready for the spring, and what things you're working on. Now, I'd love to see some pictures. I don't care if it's your wood pile. Show me the pride in the wood pile. Brother, I did that 1 year. I was probably 28, 29, and I decided I'm going to make some extra money cutting wood. I made enough money to pay for 2 or 3 axe handles and a couple chainsaw blades and things like that. But the most valuable lesson was learning that it's hard to make money cutting wood. And I burned it too that year. I mean, I burned it. So I have a real respect for wood cutting and using wood. Like old Henry David said. He said, firewood warms you twice. Once when you cut it, and once when you burn it. And brother, I learned that is a truism when I was about 28 or 29. Anyway, send me a picture of your wood pile. Show me your workbenches. I want to see your workbenches, man. That's what I need to do. Hello? Thought I heard my wife. She went down to see the grandboy. Anyway, show me what you got. Well, here we go. We've been burned through 45 minutes. I just want us to remember who we are. We are a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, culture, families, and environment. We exchange ideas, resources, and information. Winter reminds us to slow down, prepare well, look out for one another. I really want to thank you for spending your Thursday evening with me. If you watch this on the rerun, give me a shout out, send me a text, thumbs up, something, let me know that you happened by and you spent a minute or two and seeing what the Rabun County Rag is all about. I got big plans here, and I'd sure like to have you be a part of it. But until next time, and I'm going to end this thing a little early tonight. Until next time, keep your boots dry, your fire steady, and your heart's grateful. And as always, have a grateful day. I've got my email up there. If you need to get in touch with me, you can send me an email or send me a chat. I love each and every one of you. Have a grateful day. Have a grateful week. And we'll see you next time.
This hard Appalachian life, cold must be in my granddad's cough. His stories hang in the kitchen smoke. Lightning took the oak, we burned it slow, warm for a night. Then the cold came back. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up, fall down, then we get up twice, scratching out a living in this hard Appalachian life. We pass down names and patchwork quilts and unpaid bills and unbent wheel. This rears, this rock, this flood, this fight. Hard Appalachian life. Hard Appalachian life. Red clay caked on my Sunday shoes. Church let out, but the work stays put. Mama's hands cracked like the winter mud, counting jars, but the shelves look thin. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up, fall down, then we get up twice, scratching out a living in this hard Appalachian life. Cold dust beef in my granddad's cough. His stories hang in the kitchen smoke. Lightning took the oak, we burned it slow, warm for a night. Then the cold came back. Hard Appalachian life, it cuts and it carves every rib, every road, every rusted out car. We get up. They say a man leaves when the breath goes quiet, but some voices never learn how to do that. Some voices just step back from the mic and let the crowd carry the song. Bob never told us where to go, he just showed us how to walk. Loose hands on the strings, eyes on the horizon, smiling like he knew there was no wrong turn if you stayed kind. Forever grateful, forever free. You left the road, but you stayed with me. I learned time doesn't move in straight lines. Standing in a field full of strangers who somehow felt like family. No tickets to heaven, no backstage pass to truth, just a rhythm, a chorus, and a chance to let go of whatever weighed you down that day. Bob sang like he trusted the song to land where it needed to. No rush, no finish line, just another verse waiting its turn. Forever grateful, forever kind. You taught us time is just a state of mind. Some men chase perfection, Bob chased connection between the notes, between the people, between who we were and who we might become if we listened a little longer. He sang of cowboys, saints, sinners, fools, not to judge them, but to remind us we've been all of them at least once. If there's a stage on the other side, I know the lights are
Take it easy, take it slow. Every road still lets you go. Forever grateful, forever true. This long, strange trip still walks with you. If the music fades from human ears, it lives in love, it lives in years. For the songs, Bob, we'll take it from here.
Sleep, Tiny. Sleep, Tiny. Tiny, sleep. Sleep, Tiny.
They say a man leaves when the breath goes quiet, but some voices never learn how to do that. Some voices just step back from the mic and let the crowd carry the song. Bob never told us where to go, he just showed us how to walk. Loose hands on the strings, eyes on the horizon, smiling like he knew there was no wrong turn if you stayed kind. Forever grateful, forever free. You left the road, but you stayed with me. I learned time doesn't move in straight lines. Standing in a field full of strangers who somehow felt like family. No tickets to heaven, no backstage pass to truth, just a rhythm, a chorus, and a chance to let go of whatever weighed you down that day. Bob sang like he trusted the song to land where it needed to. No rush, no finish line, just another verse waiting its turn. Forever grateful, forever kind. You taught us time is just a state of mind. Some men chase perfection, Bob chased connection between the notes, between the people, between who we were and who we might become if we listened a little longer. He sang of cowboys, saints, sinners, fools, not to judge them, but to remind